It is clear from what has been said that the doctrine of the Christian faith has a consideration of creatures insofar as a certain likeness of God manifests in them, and insofar as an error in them leads to the error of the divine. And so the aforesaid doctrines and human philosophies are subject to another reason. For human philosophy considers them according to what they are of this kind. Whence, and according to different kinds of things, different parts of philosophy are found. But the Christian faith considers them not as such, as fire is, but as it represents the divine height, and is directed to God himself in any way. For as Wisdom 42 it is said, the glory of the Lord is full of his work. Has not the Lord caused the saints to tell all his wonderful things? And because of this, both the philosopher and the believer consider other things about creatures. For the philosopher considers those things which are appropriate to them according to their own nature, as being carried up by fire. But the faithful consider them only in regard to creatures which are suitable to them according as they are related to God. For example, because they were created by God, because they are subject to God, and the like. Hence it is not to be imputed to the imperfection of the doctrine of faith if it omits many properties of things, such as the shape of the heavens and the quality of motion. For even so, the naturalist does not consider those passions about the line which the geometer considers, but only those which happen to him insofar as it is the boundary of the natural body. If, however, things concerning creatures are commonly considered by the philosopher and the believer, they are conveyed by different principles. For the philosopher assumes an argument from the proper causes of things, but the believer from the first cause, for example, because it was thus divinely handed down, or because this yields to the glory of God, or because the power of God is infinite. Hence wisdom itself must be said to be the greatest, as considering the most profound cause. According to Deuteronomy 4:6, this is your wisdom and understanding before the people. And for this reason, human philosophy serves him as if he were the principal, and therefore sometimes divine wisdom proceeds from the principles of human philosophy. For even among philosophers, the first philosophy uses the documents of all sciences to show its purpose. Hence it is that both doctrines do not proceed in the same order. For in the doctrine of philosophy, which considers creatures according to themselves and from them, leads to the knowledge of God, the first consideration is of creatures and the last of God. But in the doctrine of faith, which considers creatures only in order to God, God is considered first, and creatures second, and thus it is more perfect, as it is more similar to the knowledge of God, who, knowing himself, looks at other things. Hence, according to this order, after what has been said about God and himself in the first book, it remains to continue about what is from him.